Mustapha Hamid's bank account balances after OSP arrest. The word there is balances. Balances. See Mustapha Hamid's account balances after OSP arrest. Oh my God. See Mustapha Hamid's bank account balances after OSP arrest. Now, who is Mustapha Abdul Hamid? In the Muslim community, they simply call him Sheikh. And Sheikh is a learned man of a certain age. This is Sheikh Mustapha Hamid. Now, he was the boss of the NPA, National Petroleum Authority, and he was in there for a number of years. Petroleum is a very important sector of our economy. And many people know that to be able to be in that sector, you must be somebody with deep pockets. And those who operate in that sector are people with deep pockets. Mustapha Hamid started off being very loyal to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo. He went around campaigning for him, even when he was in opposition. And when he won, he decided that he would reward him. What did he do? He made him, in fact, the information minister of the Republic. And Kojo Kyeremanteng was his deputy. But after some time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo decided to reshuffle. And he pulled Mustapha out and pushed in Kojo Kyeremanteng, his deputy, to become the substantive information minister. And I think he did a good job. Now, in Mustapha's era as the information minister, there were some issues that came up, spelling mistakes in national communique. And that did not go that well with the president. And probably this and some other reasons made him feel that, no, let me move this man and put him in another ministry. They created for him a very special position in government. He became the minister for the Zongo minister, the Sheikh. And when he went to the Zongo, he was excited. In an interview that we had on radio, he told me point blank, my brother Black Rasta, in fact, the budget for the Zongo ministry is bigger than that of the information ministry. It means the work there is much more. So the president has entrusted me with more energy and power to be able to move the wheels of development. He would always walk with a Quran. He gave me a Quran as a gift. In fact, he's a man that many people love, especially the Zongos. But when it came out that he was nothing but a thief, the office of the OSP, that's the office of the special prosecutor, threw some allegations at him, and he started to have his respect wane off. Many people who revered him and called him Sheikh began to call him Shirk. This is Mustapha Abdul Hamid. He has a PhD from the University of Cape Coast. He reads the Quran like an Arabian. This is a man many people considered to be very pious. And he will never finish a sentence without saying, Inshallah. One of his utterances became very popular with the people of Ghana. It went viral. Inshallah, we must rescue this country. At this point, the country is so depraved. We remember Mustapha Abdul Hamid, aka Sheikh, using those beautiful words. But aside that, my brother, my sister, he is now standing trial right there by the kind courtesy of the OSP. He and some other people have been slapped with charges, a number of charges, my brother, my sister. And there he is, my brother, my sister, Mustapha Hamid. And how many more people? All of them standing trial for corruption, abuse of office, money laundering, and even more. And when his mugshot came out, And that's the first man there, Mustapha Abdul Hamid. Oh, many people lost respect for him and called him nothing but a common thief. Now, Mustapha Hamid, from that time, has not been so regular in the public because of some of these allegations. I think he's been so embarrassed. Now, the last one that we heard was about a house that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo supposedly gave him. And when he was asked to provide papers, according to the OSP, that's the Office of the Special Prosecutor, he was unable to provide the papers, and it brought about some confusion. Today we have all the facts, and I need you to come here. Come here! Watch this. Hey! Now Mustapha Hamid, Dr. Mustapha Abdul Hamid, in 2018, walked over to the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo, and told him, "Sir, I have seen a house at Adjringano that I want to buy, but I can't afford it." Mr. President said, "How much is it?" But something came in, and then the conversation was cut short. So Mustapha Hamid decided not to mention it to the president anymore. He rather went to Gabby, asare, otchere, darko, and told him point blank, "Gabby, I've seen a house at Adjringano that I want to buy. I don't want to worry the president at all. I have some money, but it is not enough to pay for it. It is 220,000 American dollars. 220,000 American dollars. That's how much it is." And Gabby said, "It's big money, but I will try," and gave him some money. From there, Mustapha Hamid went to Akosua Frema, Chief of Staff at the time, Akosua Frema, and asked her to also contribute so that he could buy this house, my brother, my sister, at Adjringano. And Akosua Frema also donated some money. From Akosua Frema, he went to Ken Ofori Atta and asked Ken Ofori Atta to also support with the buying of the house. He was the finance minister, so he also donated some money. Right after that, he decided that no, he would wait and get some money and add. He didn't want to go to the president. Oh, and watch what happened. Gabby decided to call the president and tell Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo, "Your friend Mustapha Hamid wants to buy a house at Adjringano. It costs 220,000 American dollars. And the president said, yes, he mentioned it to me, but we couldn't complete. I don't know what happened." He called Mustapha and then gave some money to him and said, "I already wanted to reward you for the hard work, for the loyalty you have shown me. I honestly wanted to buy a house for you. So don't worry about it. I'll make sure I pay for it." But Mustapha gained the love and respect of the president by telling him, "Oh, other people have contributed. This is the amount of money I need to be able to finish paying for the house." It was at that point the president called his brother, Bumty. And Bumty, everybody knows, is the president's brother. That's Bumty. He's a businessman. He has money. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo also added money, and it was more than enough. Mustapha Hamid went to buy that house. Can I tell you something? Dash it away. After he bought the house, getting ready to go pay. Remember, it took him time to gather all the money. The house was bought from an owner called Wisdom. Now, Wisdom was waiting for the money, and Mustapha Hamid promised him that the money would come. At that time, Kennedy Agyapong decided that he needed that house. He saw the house being advertised. He liked it. And he approached Wisdom to buy the house. As information has it. And Wisdom told him, oh, my friend Mustapha Hamid has already bought the house. I'm just waiting for him to come and make payments. Kisi seemingly was not very happy about this because he had the money ready and he wanted to just pay. But Wisdom said, my friend Mustapha Hamid has begged me to keep the house for him. Let me give him another few moments. If he doesn't come, then I can call you to come and buy. Kisi went away and Mustapha came and paid for the house from 2018. He moved into the house in 2019. He had a house warmer. People came around, other sheikhs, to enjoy some good food, recite the Quran, and do things, including one of his very good friends, Dr. Ibrahim Anyas, who was the boss of NAPO. My brother, my sister, Dr. Ibrahim Anyas. He's a very good friend of Mustapha Hamid. And every time Mustapha Hamid goes to court, by the kind courtesy of the OSP, he's always following him. And he sits in court every time with his tasbah like this. This was what people saw and believed that Mustapha Hamid was coming into the court with his group of malams to pray and to chant. And we even had information that this man was carrying the photograph of Kennedy Agyapong and some members of the OSP to chant them down Islamically right in the court. Today we are diffusing all the lies and keeping the facts straight. This is the man. He's called Dr. Ibrahim Anyas, former boss of NAPO. My brother, my sister, nation builders. All right? Dash him away. Now, the story is about to get interesting. Come here. Watch this. Now, Mustapha Hamid bought the house. And everything was okay. Then, Nana Addo Dankwa, Akufo Addo fell out with Kennedy Agyapong. Remember the Bounty story? Who got the opportunity to import military vehicles and some other things into the country? While Kennedy Agyapong's very good friend was pushed aside, he used to do it. But after some time, the whole contract went to Bounty. Remember, we did that story. So go back and check the story so we don't repeat ourselves. That was when Kennedy Agyapong fell off with the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo Addo. Fast forward, Ken Ofori Atta ran out of the country, and boom, Kennedy Agyapong was not able to hold him down. As Nana Addo Dankwa left office, my brother, my sister, Kennedy Agyapong needed to impress so that he would still be kept. After all, he was brought in there, appointed by the President of the Republic, then Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo. Now that there's a new government, I must do everything possible to impress. And according to the lawyer of Mustapha Abdul Hamid, Akbar Yusuf Rohullah Homaini, my brother, my sister, the lawyer of Mustapha Abdul Hamid, this gentleman, Kennedy Agyapong needed to find a way to impress the new government in the Republic of Ghana, and also to impress Ghanaians. And the two most hated people in Nana Addo's government were Mustapha Hamid for his Isha Allah comments, and two, Ken Ofori Atta. These were the two most hated in Nana Addo's government. So Kennedy Agyapong must find a way, no matter what, to hold the two down, according to the lawyer. My brother, my sister. And he succeeded in getting Mustapha Hamid and also Ken Ofori Atta at least to be fingered for some wrongs that they did. And Ghanaians applauded that. Can I tell you more? My brother, my sister. Now, the house issue, according to the lawyer, they never actually had any specific meeting for the house issue to be discussed. In fact, asset declaration, Mustapha Hamid wrote in that he had a house which was bought for him by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo in 2018. According to the lawyer, that was what Mustapha Hamid wrote. It was declared. But the OSP decided to twist it around and say Nana Addo gifted him a house. Use the right words. He bought a house for him. If you say gifted him a house, it's almost like saying that come and pay gift tax, bring that document and that document to show that you paid these taxes, and according to the lawyer, it was deliberate. Maybe because Kennedy Agyapong himself could not lay hands on the house when he went there trying to buy it from the guy called Wisdom. But today, we want to go beyond just the hearsays and hit the nail right on the head. Come here. Watch this. Hey. Now, Mustapha Hamid is standing trial. And one of the things he's been held for is a piece of land he has in Tamale. And this piece of land cost 400,000 Ghana cedis. Kennedy Agyapong wants to find out where he got the money from to buy the house. His ex-gratia was 800,000 Ghana cedis. Mustapha Hamid's ex-gratia was twice the amount of money he used to buy the land. And that was what he told the OSP. According to the lawyer, Kennedy Agyapong cannot believe that a man can be the boss of NPA and not steal money. In Ghana, it is difficult. According to the lawyer, Kennedy Agyapong is so disappointed and he is now just throwing blows in the dark. And we met only last night at an event and had a beautiful conversation. Me and the lawyer. Lawyer Akbar Yusuf Rohullah Khomeini. And when he started to tell me fact after fact, opening up documents to show to me, oh my God, it gave me an opportunity to understand the case even better. That's my way. Can I ask you a question? Is Kennedy Agyapong being retributive in this case? Has he realized that he's not doing a good case? And for that matter, he's trying by all means to find fault with Mustapha Abdul Hamid. Is that the case? Now hear me. A lot of the cars and the bank accounts that have been mentioned, I am told they had links to the second accused, the Jacob guy. He has been in the business for over 30 years. And a lot of the monies that the OSP said were bribes all passed through the Jacob guy. My brother, my sister, and they were labeled consultancy fee. Bribe all of a sudden is beginning to have a new name in Ghana. It's a consultancy fee. Is that what it is? Or is something else? Now this consultancy fee, Kennedy Agyapong is questioning. And as it stands right now, over 15 people, I'm told 13 people, are being subpoenaed to appear in court and give witness testimonies to the bribes that were taken from them. Can I hammer this properly? Kwesi Agyapong has gone to court. Now he wants evidence against these people from NPA who allegedly misused their offices. He has been able to finger some people who allegedly paid bribes to Mustapha Hamid and his cronies. But these guys are not ready to come to court to talk because they are businessmen or for whatever reason. Now Kwesi Agyapong is going to court to plead with the court. In fact, to force the 13 people to come to court by all means and testify against these people. Who are the people? Who are the people? They are in a list in the papers of the OSP's office. 2 sheets of paper. My brother, my sister. 2 sheets of paper. List of people. Not this, dash it away. From the OSP's office. My brother, my sister, I took a couple of photographs so that you would see the names of these people. 13 people are now going into the court on subpoena, my brother, my sister, to testify against Mustapha Hamid and all these people. And Mustapha Hamid's lawyers are fighting against this. Fighting against this. They are trying to come out and say, hey, you can't force people to come and testify against people. Subpoena should be the last resort, but the OSP is using it as a first resort. This is the list I'm looking for. Why did it take so long? This is the list. Look at the people, 13 of them. And when you look at it, and this is from the office of the special prosecutor, Gyamfi Ayi. He's the CEO of a certain company, Amandel Logistics. There's God knows Doje. There's Lawrence Yaudonko. There's Philip Tieku. There's Joseph Kwabena. And these are all big businessmen who the CEO believes paid bribes to Mustapha Hamid and his cronies. And therefore, they are going to be subpoenaed to come to court and witness against Mustapha Hamid. But we have intentionally made this story so easy to understand so we can go into it properly. I decided to go and look at the accounts of Mustapha Hamid. Frozen right now. Frozen. Totally frozen by the office of the special prosecutor to find out how much money he has in his accounts. I went around trying to find out his bank accounts. Mustapha Abdul Hamid, to see which banks is he saving with. Does he have any company that he's probably paying money into? I succeeded in getting his personal accounts. And today I'm going to show you how much money is in every account as frozen by the OSP from when the investigation started. Run it, my youth. Watch this. Now, Mustapha Abdul Hamid Bawumia. These are his bank balances. He has an account with UMB. UMB. This is the account number. Some numbers have been taken off for security reasons. and is at the Airport City branch. He has 103,993 and 3 pesos. That's what he has in that account. He has an account with Omni BSIC, the head office. This is the account number, and he has only 2 cedis, 41 pesos in that account. Zenith Bank, he has 2 accounts. One is a dollar account. The other one is a CD account. The CD account is at the Patrice Lumumba branch. And my brother, he has 38,006 cedis, 49 pesos in that account. The Zenith Bank account, which is the dollar account, is at the head office. We couldn't get the account number, but we saw the balance. $3,196.75. This is how much Mustapha Hamid has in his account. In all, it's less than 150,000 Ghana cedis. In these accounts, this is what we can tell you is in that, as frozen by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. If Mustapha Hamid truly stole some money, or he came into contact with some dubious money, then it's not in any of these personal accounts. If Mustapha Hamid, by our investigation, stole any money while he was the boss of the NPA, then he probably put that in other investments and not into bank accounts. We trust and believe that the OSP will do a good job and be able to deal with this issue. But to the lawyer, Akbar Yusuf Rohullah Khomeini, the OSP has no case. He just decided to play to the gallery, excite the President of the Republic, excite Ghanaians with the 2 most hated guys in the NPP. And that is Mustapha Hamid and, of course, Ken Ofori Atta. We are waiting to see what will happen to Ken Ofori Atta. As I always say, if they are guilty, may they continue to rot in jail. If they stole from the nation, no mercy for them. But it will be unfortunate that innocent people will be put in jail simply because there's a political agenda against them, which we are very much against. Now, this reminded me of what Gabby told me. He told me, Black Rasta, Mustapha Hamid is one of the people that I trust so much and love. He is very honest. Bring the photo of Gabby. Please follow me. Follow. That's what he told me. Gabby asare otchere darko. He told me point blank. Black, I can put my head down for Mustapha Hamid. If there was supposed to be a third person, a lot of Ghanaians were expecting to go to jail. It should be me, Gabby. Many Ghanaians, I believe that because of my proximity to the president, I must also be a thief, and for that matter, be in jail. But after all this while of not being in power, why is it that nobody has prosecuted me? If anybody will go to jail for Mustapha Hamid, I, Gabby, will do that because I trust him. That guy, in fact, is very honest. But he never told me about the house. How Mustapha Hamid went round to get the house. In fact, when he told me this, I was angry. I didn't even want to ask him anything. Because from the ongoings, from the information we are getting from the OSP, it is almost clear that we are dealing with a den of thieves, filled with thieves. I believe Kweku Agyapong will do the needful. And finally, did Kweku Agyapong and his OSP sit Mustapha Hamid down to ask him about the Nana Addo house, as we were told? According to the lawyer, the court said, report to the OSP's office. And when they got to the office, the OSP members in there started to fix recording equipment. And the lawyers asked, oh, but what is this for? So we are going to record you. We are going to investigate you. And the lawyer said, no, but we are not here for investigation. The matter is in court. You should have finished your investigations before going to court. The court says we should come and report to you. Why are you investigating me when the matter is in court? It doesn't make sense. It means that you don't have enough evidence against us. You have taken me to court, right? And I go to the court. Now the court says, make sure that you report to the OSP in these intervals. You are just supposed to go write your name and sign so they see that you have not run away. But you go to the OSP and then they bring gadgets to record you in an investigation. It means that the investigation was not complete at the time of going to court. That's what the lawyer told me. Final piece of information before we go. Dash it away. I hear Mustapha Hamid is broke. He's unable to pay his lawyers. So all the lawyers are working for him pro bono. Pro bono. In other words, my brother, my sister, they are not taking money. It's for free. And the lead legal counsel, Akbar, here is the one who is talking to these lawyers and trying to raise some money from the periphery to pay them small to help with the case. If Mustapha Hamid is truly guilty, may he rot in jail, may he suffer. But if he's not and he's innocent, may all the perpetrators of the evil against him replace him in the suffering.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.